Having established that we need to do retirement planning, let us look at how we go about estimating what will be our expenses. So let's start with food. Well, it's very difficult for you to estimate food expenses. So let us use some simple tricks. Let us say you go out and eat with your spouse, and on an average you find that you are spending 150 rupees per meal when you eat out in a reasonable restaurant. I am not even talking of a huge restaurant, simply because you're going to do this day in and day out. So you may not go to a place where the food is very expensive or the ambience is too great, and you make one cushion. You will say, okay, I'll spend 150 rupees per meal, but I will estimate that I have 3 meals a day. Maybe when you retire, you will have 2 meals a day. So that means you spend approximately 450 rupees per day, which is 150 rupees multiplied by 3. That is per day per person, which means between you and your spouse, you are now going to spend 900 per day. That is approximately 27,000 per month, right? You got it right. 150 into 2 is 300 per meal. 3 meals per day is 900. 900 multiplied by 30 is 27,000. Some months will have 31, so let us just approximately say it is about 30,000 per month. 30,000 per month translates to 3,60,000 a year. 3,60,000 a year is to be multiplied by, let us on the higher side, it would be 50 years. How much does that lead you to? 36 lakhs multiplied by 5. That is about 1.8 crores. That is just your food expenses. And I have not taken inflation into account. Right? Now, let us come to housing expenses. You decide that you want to live your post-retirement in a senior citizen home in, say, Pune, and you go there and you find out that the rents in senior citizen colonies, and they are available, it's not very difficult to find, is approximately 25,000 per month rent. Now you and your spouse can't decide whether to choose that, so you decide to hire it for 1 year. Now for that 1 year, your Bombay flat, I'm assuming you're from Mumbai, is not going to be on rent. It is going to remain empty. So don't consider those costs. So only consider the cost of living in Pune. That is approximately 25,000 per month, which is about 3 lakhs a year. Now 3 lakhs a year for another 50 years. That is 1.5 crores, right? So 1.5 crores of this, about 1.8 crores of food, that is 3.3 crores, right? 3.3 crores, you add medical, you add other kind of expenses. This is how you will estimate, and then you arrive at a figure. Now, either do that or you just take a calculator and say, ballpark figure, I need 5 crores or I need 8 crores, some number. Then you go around seeing what are the assets that you have, which means all the mutual funds that you have, the insurance policies have a surrender value, your public provident fund, your provident fund, your spare house in case you have. You just add up all of that together and that will be your total assets. We will largely use only those assets which are contributing to your retirement. We will not worry too much about the golf kit you have or the Patek watch you have. We will not get into those things, but they are there. The jewelry, we're not getting into your wife's jewelry or your own jewelry. So all this put together is your assets. Then check out what is the liabilities that you have, a home loan or car loan or whatever. You reduce that and you come to your most important number, that is your net worth statement. Now you have to see at what rate does that net worth have to grow by the time you're 60. Let us assume you're 40 years of age. So how much, at what rate does it have to grow so that you reach the magic figure that you have arrived at and say, well, this is the number I need. So what will be the next step? Next step is to say, what are my expenses? Because you already know your income. Income is normally from one source or maybe your business income, but largely it is more easy to know what is your total income rather than know what is your total expenses. So you start maintaining accounts and find out how much money can you spare for your retirement, right? So you arrived at how much you need for retirement. You checked out how much are your assets, how much are your liabilities. You arrived at your net worth statement, which is asset minus liability. Now we are looking at your income statement and expense statement to see how much you can spare for your retirement. Obviously, the younger you are, the lesser willing you would be to put money for retirement. You can't go to a 24-year-old and say put 15,000 per month for retirement. That's not going to happen. He is going to listen to you only if you give a figure which is less than 2,000 rupees. So tell him 40 rupees per day is what you need to invest. So that comes to about 1,200 rupees. Let us increase it a little bit. Let us make it 1,500 a month. That he will accept. 15,000 he will not accept. But if you are 40 and you have arrived at these figures, see how much of your money has to be spared and kept in a separate account which is for retirement, which means you and your spouse will not touch it for any other purpose other than retirement. It is very nice to give direction to your money, give a specific purpose and say, this is my retirement plan. Maybe it has 4-5 mutual funds, maybe it has some real estate, all that put together is your retirement plan. So we have seen why you should plan for retirement, we should see how you should plan for retirement. Going further ahead, we will see how to communicate this with your children. Thank you.